What's up, y'all? It's OG Vibe. We're here. We're at Just Vibe. We're chilling. We're doing XYZ. I might be uploading like multiple videos because um, what I've been thinking about recently, like it's gonna need. I feel like this is the perfect outlet for me, and I don't know. I don't know. It might be an INFJ. It might be an INFP. And when I say outlet, I'm thinking in terms of like how when I say outlet, I guess I'm thinking in terms of, is it fair? Is it polite to keep something to myself that I feel like might be beneficial to others? But yeah. So recently I've been learning about. So recently I've been thinking about some things, and in my last video I talked about some things too. And recently I just heard about this thing called conductor theory. And I think it's so interesting because I was having a conversation with my friend a while back, and I'm gonna be candid again. I'm gonna be very candid. So if you're gonna get spooked out, leave the channel now. Spooked out warning. I'm gonna come up with a word for it. Me and my friend actually came up with a word for it's called a pomperay. Basically, it means like, I say it means something beautiful that has no meaning, but it basically means like something that has no meaning. Like a concept that, so you don't get confused about it. It's a pomperay like life. Don't get like too caught up on it. It's a pomperay. But it's a pomperay. But yeah. So about this conductor's theory and about this pilot theory. So I'm gonna and quantum physics. We're gonna go all there. So to understand like the level of thought that it takes, and ways to compute, calculate, to draw a diagram of these things, which I'm still going to call metaphysical. I think it's important to still call it that. Because you don't want someone to be doing something that seems non-biased, but it's still, but still negative. Like a mad scientist creating, a nuclear bomb or something. You don't want it to be that kind of a situation. And still, we still have it, and it's still used for positive things. Like we use it to create energy and everything. But I still feel like there's an imbalance of the use of certain energies in the world. I still feel like people want to get one over on each other just a little bit. And with such an understanding, something that can feel almost very magical, but exist in the physical world, you're gonna want to have your safety guards up, because this is very new for us in the 21st century, at least. If you read any ancient text or whatever, then you probably felt like, oh my god, what am I reading? It's so magical. But they're probably speaking in that other term, which conductor's theory is trying to say scientifically. Yeah, like I said, I still see it metaphysically. I see it as some like ancient language, like the language of Adam or something like that, like a very primal language. And with even the understanding of conductor's theory, when I say primal language, I'm not saying that English existed, years ago, but the words that we use to explain what we see are based off of the reality of sounds and colors and experiences that happen on this three-dimensional realm, basically. So you'll have like, a pig is a pig. It looks like a pig. It's a pig. And even when you go deeper and you say, this is a pig, it's still a pig. But for all the pigs in the universe, what are pigs? They oink, they're pink, they have tails, those are pigs. But when you're trying to describe something that doesn't have a term yet, and exist on a different plane, one that's still sensible, and on top of that, when you bring something down to your plane, is it still, does that make it one dimensional, or is it a projection of what you can, or is it a projection of the information that you can tell from what you're seeing? Like, even if I'm describing this to you, I guess it would be like a baby has baby language. A human growing up in the 21st century might have human language to describe what they're seeing and what they're feeling. And then there might be an even more mature language, a language that describes what you want, what you're doing, or what to do, or a language that describes your intention or motivation. Still, it's still something that you have to kind of grasp, because it's still very new. And I don't want to shy away from that topic. And like I said in my last video, the only reason I was afraid to do that because I was afraid of knowledge or whatever. But yeah, when you bring it back to the fact that it's still on that one-dimensional plane, like you can take a square and you can turn it to a cube. You can turn that cube into a fourth dimensional shape. You can look at it at different angles, and the mind gives you the imaginary space to do that. And if the imaginary space exists and imaginary rules exist, then that's cool. And like imaginary rules, what's that? Okay, imaginary rules. Okay, imaginary rule. Usually like, okay, I'm saying metaphysical rule, like bright light usually means wake up in the morning. Or like don't steal from your neighbor, because that would make them sad. Why would it make them sad if you stole from them? What does it matter? What does it matter? Those imaginary rules to me, like nothing can matter, because it's all. But that's an important thing to understand. Like it's not being nihilistic, and it's not being optimistic. It's just like, oh, this is the reality of the situation. And I think it'd be, yeah, even if you have opinions, like I said, I can still be like, there still could be like people who don't share the same opinion as me, but we can still conversate about that. But because they don't share the same opinions, what would they do with that? What would they do with their difference of opinion? How would they take action? Damn it. I'm sorry, I forgot where it's going. But yeah. So just in terms of conversation on those different levels, and like I said, the conductor's theory and pilot theory. So let me go back to talking about those theories. I'm gonna keep these videos long because I like to talk like this, and I don't really edit my videos yet because I don't know how to do all that stuff, and I still want it to feel a little bit organic. And sooner or later, I'll start editing it, and it won't feel as organic. And I'm not a robot, and I'm not a YouTube spy or nothing like that. I watch a lot of YouTube, so maybe I am a YouTube spy. I don't even know. Maybe I'm like a double agent. But but yeah, seriously. So yeah, maybe I am a double agent. That's cool. But yeah, like I said, when it comes to the YouTube stuff, when it comes to like the physics stuff, yeah, so pilot theory, I feel like I should just go look it up because I'm probably not gonna. So pilot theory is like waves bouncing back, like this, like if a particle bounces forward and a wave bounces back, like nothing magical happening there. It's just like a reaction. Still magical to me, and people like under the comment section of that pilot theory video was like, it still seems like something that exists under quantum physics. And quantum physics, what the hell is quantum physics, right? Things at their elementary state. And to even speak this language, understanding quantum physics is great. And I was saying, I'm actually going to turn that into another video, but scientists, the new age sorcerers, and what that really means. Science is powerful, and what they call it, at least, like science. That's crazy. It's really crazy, actually, and only because we were able to push the definition together to mean that, and that makes it okay, which is really crazy to me too. That's free will. That's free will, and it's like, you know your ability, you know your power, you know your free will. You don't have to let people. You can turn words around and make them mean something else. Like how they use this derogatory term on women or men or people of color, and they turned it around and use it as a word of power. So they use this word of magic as a sin, but now it's science. It's a word of power. You know, science gives you that shield to say, we're not witches, we're not demons, we're not warlocks. I'm merely studying the universe. You know, and think of it. You are the conscious agent in this whole process. You know, there's other conscious agents, of course, like your friends, your family, the outside world. But you're the only one that can apply a meaning to that. So look at how you look at what things mean to you. Like, what does family mean to me? You know, family might mean, for some people, family might mean people who abuse them. For some people, family might mean people who comfort them. So what does it mean to be a human being to you? Like, how does your definition of humanity, how does that hold up for you? So we got to ask ourselves that, like, what are we projecting on humanity? Like, why are we so terrible? Like, why are we so terrible? You notice how I say that? Like, why is that the first thing I have to say about humanity? That wasn't even a conscious thing I said. It was literally like, oh, we're terrible. Like, human beings are terrible. But are we really? No. I don't believe it. I believe that we don't even have to label ourselves as human beings if we don't want to. You know, that goes into a different conversation. Yeah, what does it mean to be a human? What does it mean to be man? We could be totally different beings at that point. You know, with evolution, like when does a dinosaur turn to a chicken? When does a human become something else? Yeah. Evolution, bitches. Okay, you guys, I'm out of Tadati. I'm about to upload this video, and then my next video I want to talk about that topic of scientists and sorcerers, the new age magicians.